We go back to the days that the sheriff back in Oconee County where we met, was actually in jail himself.
Yeah, he was.
We go back to those days. And my dad got mad at me. He was
How are you? You know, yeah. Yes. Still getting paid.
I didn't get that deep into it. We got paying taxes in Green County. It didn't matter that much. I moved down there.
I remember when you was yeah. What if not?
That's what they want. When I was bringing out the paper,
Yeah.
a vice president, we rode out there.
Don't you think we should have there you go.
Yeah,
If we did
say it's on the.
Yeah, I know. So is that different in the way we do it? We did it, thinking about the way we do it.
That's the way. You know, yeah, and that's the other one.
81 times.
We say, yeah.
We all got it is a board.
Where you born?
That's the only thing I know that is famous.
You know that shield? Why do I know how it goes? Where is it?
Somewhere near the bridge over the mountain. Because you can make it back over the mountain from over there.
And that's just outside.
Apparently it's over the mountain.
Yeah. Apparently, I've been over there. I stopped there.
Surprised I had it.
No, really, that's all it was.
I think I've only been there standing on the road and it was dangerous. Well, twice, okay.
Your mama working over here? 2 months.
I don't know. She just went for a checkup. That's where the doctor was.
No.
You ain't thinking she's calling now.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Madison County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting.
November 27th, 2023, 6 p.m. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Gentlemen, before you have a copy of the minutes from October 30th, 2023 regular business meeting and the minutes from November 6th agenda setting work session. Please take a moment to look over those and if you see no discrepancies, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
The minutes be approved as presented.
I have a motion by Commissioner Chandler. Do we have a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Let's start with you, Commissioner Adams.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Business involving guest groups and multiple visitors. Madison County Library quarterly report from related Turner. Good to see you tonight, young lady.
Nice to see y'all. Oh. Since I was last here, we completed the summer reading program, which went very well. We had a couple murder mystery nights for teenagers, and got some good participation in that. We've had a couple events with Farm Bureau, who's a good partner of ours. They came one day and did a planting activity, and another day more recently they had an apple picking activity. They come roughly once a quarter or so, and usually right after story time, and do some fun little extra thing. And we still have the wooden apple trees and the apples that kids can play with. They asked if they could leave them there for a while, and we said absolutely. Kids have been having fun playing with those. The Needle Crafters class, which meets weekly, or Needle Crafters group, excuse me, which meets weekly at the library, did an extra class. It was a beginning loom knitting class, and so they had folks from kids through adults who don't normally come to that group came specifically for that class and had a really good time. In September, it was National Library Card Sign-Up Month, and we partnered with a bunch of our local businesses on a program called Score Big with Your Library Card. We had 4 boxes of giveaways that were all items donated by business partners. And people who signed up for cards, renewed their cards, or even shared about the program on social media, got entries, and we had some happy winners from that. We've done a number of outreach events over the past few months, and have some more coming up. At the Senior Center, the Back to School rally held by Mart, Iowa Homemakers, the Hygiene Day put on by MedLink, and at Foothills Charter High School, several, but not all of them doing. At the Madison County Fair, we did have a booth in the community building and won a 3rd place ribbon for that. We've had some job events for our local high school students. The Chamber of Commerce holds their twice a year job shadowing event, and we had 4 girls participate as part of that at the library. And then a separate event is there's a job skills class and a couple of job skills classes, and they've been coming several times this month to learn some skills at the library that they can use out in the work world. How to pull books, how things are organized. Very transferable skills. Want to thank the county, in particular TC and Joey, called them out for all of the plumbing work that they did for us. We had a bunch right at one time, and it took a little while to get it all resolved. New water heater, some other things that were going on. They did that, and we very much appreciate it. And I want to keep it fairly short. So the last thing I'll say is coming up in December, on the 14th at 1 in the afternoon, we're going to have a class given by a volunteer called Excel Tips and Tricks. So if you would like to brush up on some of your spreadsheet abilities, I think she'll do a really nice job with that. And finally, on December 20th, we're going to have a day of holiday fun. So music and movies, crafting, and hoping to have a visit from Mrs. Santa. And that'll be going on all day. Mrs. Santa won't be there all day, but we'll be having lots of fun things all day. And I really hope you'll all come and participate and have a good time with us.
Thank you. Does the Madison County Library have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do.
Do you all
I can
post the
send you that
calendars?
link if you would like. Pardon?
You all post the calendars on, like your November calendar, December calendar? Is that posted on a Facebook page so we can share it?
We put all the events on there. I
Okay.
sometimes get the whole calendar on there. But I can definitely send you all that link and make sure I get those calendars on there.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
One of the things I noticed on there was your computer usage up
Yes.
40%.
Yes, we have people come in and use the computers, some folks, every single day.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, and then others are in and out.
Moving on to Chairman's report. For many up-and-coming community hometown holiday events that citizens can celebrate in each city, one being last night. I hope everyone was able to attend the Christmas tree lighting in Isla. Again, it was a huge success. The vendor turnout, the citizen turnout, all the hard work that was done by the city and local business owners in Isla to come together and put that on. Thank you. Thank you very much. They've done a great job. We really enjoyed it. A little bit of cold air, but it's that time of year. We expected it. So great job, City of Isla. Colbert Old Fashioned Christmas will be December 1st, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in downtown Colbert. The Storybook Christmas in Comer starts December 1st from 6 p.m. and December 2nd at 9 a.m. It'll be the 30th annual reindeer run and Comer Christmas parade will begin at 2 p.m. with a gift market open all day. City of Danielsville Christmas celebration will be held December 9th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. with the tree lighting at 7 p.m. For more information on any of these events, please contact the local city halls. But I also encourage all citizens to please attend these. The vendors, you never know what you're going to walk away with. The Chamber of Commerce is requesting citizens to please consider shopping locally this holiday season. The Chamber is hosting a Shop Local Passport contest for citizens to help support local families and invest in our communities. This contest will be submitted through the Chamber for entry into a giveaway raffle for gift certificates. Please contact the Chamber of Commerce for more information. Shopping local is key to this county. I will say that we do have some very vested citizens that we see time and time again in local businesses, and we urge the other citizens that do not shop locally to please consider shopping locally. The Madison County Rec Department is hosting a Write a Letter to Santa and Make a Christmas Magic Happen. It is that magical time of year, and Santa's mailbox is ready to be filled with holiday cheer. Children can write a letter to Santa and mail them to P.O. Box 284, Danielsville, Georgia, 30633. Letters should be mailed by December 1st. Please include a stamp and returned address on the envelope for Santa's response. The Madison County Senior Center is hosting a ceramic Christmas painting class. This event will be December 9th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Senior Center. The cost is $30 to $40 depending upon the ceramics chosen. Please contact Senior Center to reserve your spot, 706-795-6250. All proceeds benefit the Senior Center. Madison County Senior Center is also requesting bingo prizes donations. The seniors have set up a box outside the senior center until December 8th for donations for household items, personal hygiene, and all other small items. The Madison County Food Bank Christmas program will be serving 81 families with 209 children this holiday season. The families will pick up children's gifts on December 11th and will also receive 5 pounds of fruit, candy, and a box of cookies. Families will also be able to choose items such as clothing, household items if they would like. The food bank since July has served 351 individuals with food and or other items and 3 heaters. 2 families helped with power bills and used total pounds of food 16,963 pounds. I say again, as I've said many times, please, if you haven't visited our food bank, please do so. It is an amazing experience to see what we do have available to the citizens in our county. The Madison County Commissioner's Office is looking to fill several positions, full-time and part-time within the county starting in 2024. All full-time positions are eligible for our great benefit package that includes paid health insurance, life insurance, pensions, holiday, sick, and vacation accrual. Please visit the Madison County website to review job descriptions and apply for any open positions you may fill through the Human Resource Department inside the government complex. Positions available are equipment operator, data entry clerk, tax appraiser, recycle house attendant, athletic coordinator, park maintenance workers, part-time park attendants, part-time program coordinators, zoning clerk, field inspector, and animal control.
And the sheriff's office. And the sheriff's office.
And the sheriff's office.
They hire theirs.
The sheriff's office and the jail, but they do their own hiring. Please contact Jeff Vaughn, I guess. Is that right?
Sure.
If you want his cell phone number, I'll give it to you after the meeting.
Sounds good.
The hazardous mitigation plan 5-year renewal is about 50% complete. Ms. Westbrook with Lux Planning LLC is working with our EMA director, Bobby Smith. Once all of the notes and updates are made to our current plan, the documents will be reviewed by GMA to be sent to FEMA for approval. An update on the fire training facility. The Board of Commissioners office is currently having the property at the transfer station surveyed and the 2.5-acre lot for the fire training facility. The county has heavy equipment operators currently working on clearing the property where the facility will be located. We have also received proposals for the facility structure, and the commissioners will take actions on those later in the meeting. Overall, the project's moving forward as planned. All right, statements and remarks from citizens on tonight's agendas. Any? All right. Old business. Consider amending the building permits fee structures. Is there any changes been made since the work session?
No, sir.
So we are good to go with what was presented at the last meeting. Gentlemen, do y'all have any questions for Mr. Roach or Mr. Pritchett regarding the fee structure changes?
One thing staff would like to ask is that the activation date be January 1st of 2024, so we can finish out this year. Everything would be the same, and then moving into the admin software and everything at the same time. The new fees, everything, we'd have a clean cut.
We'll need that to be added to the motion. Correct, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, sir.
My question for Mr. Roach, Mr. Pritchett, I know you went over this several times. Do you feel comfortable that this is the right decision?
Yes.
All right. Gentlemen, will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adopt the fees as proposed by staff with an effective adoption date of January 1st, or effective date of January 1st.
Yes.
Motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Chandler. Thank you, gentlemen. Any discussion, gentlemen?
Appreciate y'all working on it.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Hearing none?
Yes.
Mr. Chandler?
Yes.
Yes.
There you go, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Chris, just before you leave, I don't know if we've ever discussed it with, but the zoning, the fees that are associated with zoning.
Yes,
Particular subdivision requirements, I know that those are way short of what it cost us to implement those.
yes, sir.
Could we, could get you up to the same kind of review of those?
Yes, sir. You can do on that.
And we did at one time have those in with those, but decided it needed to be a separate animal.
But now that we've got this cleared up, so we don't monkey the numbers back and forth, we'll dig back into those as well.
Please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Item number 8, consider vendor contract for rec department. We have postponed as of late this afternoon. There's some discrepancies. Actually, some more documentation needs to go with this before we actually present to the board commissioners. Mike, you would concur?
Yes, sir.
Christina felt like you would.
Christina's always right.
I'm reminded of that every day, sir, but I appreciate it.
One day you'll learn to listen.
I do, a lot. Makes my life easy. Consider approving, contract for SPG planner for the Recreation Department master plan. Any updates, Ms. Rouse?
I understand Mr. Pruitt, that the contract is finally, the details worked out.
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
And let's get busy, there's a lot of work to do.
All right, so Mr. Pruitt, because I know you were the one that was working with them on this.
That's right. Yeah, they were very easy to work with, and so, yeah, it's all ready to go.
And not to confuse things, but this is not the same SPG that is located here in Madison County, by the way. They just happen to have the same name.
Smith Planning Group.
Yes. So at this time, gentlemen, I would direct any questions, or if there is any, to council regarding this, because I wasn't really part of it. So if there is no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract with SPG Planners.
I make a motion to approve the contract, accept services, proposed and support staff to SPG for SPG.
I'll second. Motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Kirk. Any discussion, gentlemen?
If we would like any changes to the contract, this would be a good time to do it, because SPG's already signed it.
All right, hearing none, Commissioner May.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Rouse, thank you. Thanks Shelley and everybody that's been a part of it, the rec board and Mr. Foote, for getting this done for us. This is,
Thank y'all
definitely
for
something
providing the funds. I think it's gonna be very valuable to the county.
It absolutely will be. And I appreciate the hard work that's been put into it. Thank you, Mr. Pruitt. All right, gentlemen, item number 10, consider moving forward on the abandonment process of the eastern portion of Langford Cary Road, the western portion of Young Harris Road, and a portion of H.B. Chandler Road.
Mr. Chairman, I want to address two of those.
All right.
Langford Cary and Young Harris Road. Had the privilege of visiting with several of the residents on both of those. The issues are similar. The solutions may be entirely different. On Langford Cary Road, there has been a property sold since these maps were drawn that creates an isolated 11 acres that would be most affected by any action we take on that road. There are some other considerations as well, but Mr. and Mrs. Grove, I talked with Lisa at length yesterday, and plan to meet with them tentatively on December the 9th to look at the issues that are involving them, and from that point, I think we'll see clearly whether or not abandonment of that section should still be considered, or whether we feel like it should be just taken off the table.
All right.
On Young Harris Road, I met with the two residents who would be most affected and talked with the third one, and I think they're, again, the issues are the same. Maybe a little clearer resolution on Young Harris Road. I do still have a little more work that we need to do before I feel ready to present it, ready to go ahead. But just want to let everybody know that's where we are at this point. again, not that I or we, the commissioners, are trying to push this, but just with the problems that were out there, we'll consider this as a possible solution. So before we move forward, I'll do some more digging and then we're ready to bring back to you whether I think we should just discontinue or go forward.
And that'd be perfectly fine, sir, and I really appreciate your efforts on that.
And several of the residents are here tonight.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. So it looks like we're just discussing this tonight. It looks like we'll move forward to a public hearing.
Well, that's, put it on the board to consider, so the board will make the motion to move forward with a public hearing and notifying all the property owners. Then they'll go through the public hearing part and officially abandon or not abandon.
Okay.
So I'm asking just wait on that whole process.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's 100% on what's listed, because HB Chandler, I know when we talked about, I mean, last meeting that we talked about it was just a one road, and now we've got the three that are listed. I know we did discuss it a little bit, but I mean, I suggested getting a defined process so I could go out to those property owners and say, this is what we're doing, not just, you missed the paper. I wanted to be able to really conversate with them, have some discussion with them. I know Alan was here last time, but I asked for maybe some cost estimates, some process of what it would take, have some high reservations with the plant being there, the railroad, and different things, being an emergency cut through if we need to, and getting fire trucks or whatnot in that area. So I need a lot more information before I can support even a recommendation to move forward to a public process. So,
That sounds absolutely satisfactory. I'll let both of you reach out personally to Alan and work with them how y'all would like to proceed, and we'll just go from there. But that sounds like a great resolution for tonight.
Commissioner Dawson's absolutely right. Access by emergency vehicles is, that's pretty top of the list. And anytime you create a dead end, and that creates an issue, better make sure we study that thoroughly.
Mike, do we have a defined process, like a checkoff list, to go through this exercise?
No, sir. I mean, I have a process once you tell me move forward with the public hearing, the notices and all of that. But
it's from a legality
standpoint. But to get to that point, no, not that I'm aware of. And I was sitting here thinking, I appreciate, we have had a couple of instances where the legal process was followed, but people don't read the paper. Sometimes they don't get their mail. And
my terminology is I'm a good neighbor approach.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm looking for.
We'll also, if you'll remind me, we'll reach out to Dan Horn and get the thing from our insurance company, and also the liabilities, because that's part of this also. As much as just fire and EMS having a secondary access, it is 100% no-no for us to forge creeks. So if we have to look at a different route, we need to figure out what that route's going to be. Because I don't even know that y'all are covered to forge a creek, to be honest.
I wouldn't want to drive through there.
No.
Not the one that's in our district.
All right, well, no problem.
Not unless I had to.
I think this is definitely one of those things that needs a lot more consideration. I don't think it's urgent. Yours is going to be a little more probably urgent than anybody's with what I watched today at noon. The weather, about 3 inches of rain coming Saturday. Probably Monday, that'll be underwater, completely underwater with a soft bottom. So that's HB Chandler's an animal all by itself, because each one of them, like Terry said, or Commissioner Chandler said, has a different perspective to it. None of them is remotely similar. All right.
Well, the reason I asked my question, Mike, I know we've come through this exercise a couple of times here, and in order to facilitate being able to do it in a sequential manner so that we don't miss crossing the T or dotting the I, could we get you to visit that, Mike, and maybe give us a checklist of what we need to do?
yeah, I can. Yes, I can. I mean, basically, the primary thing is that there's some case law that says you shouldn't abandon a road purely for the benefit of the adjoining landowner.
And
An individual landowner, right. But that ties into is it still used? But yeah, I'll put together sort of what the legal standards are.
Thank you.
Any of y'all here have any questions?
Yes, please.
or if I hadn't already talked to you, I will be. But while you're here, we got all of us, if you have any questions or comments.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I'm Lisa Grove. I spoke with you on the phone with Commissioner Chandler, and we look forward to meeting you around December 9th to discuss this further. My husband and I just bought the 11 acres on the east side of Langford Cary, and it is an extreme concern if the road is abandoned, emergency vehicles, etc. So I wanted to come here this evening and meet all of you, and look forward to speaking with you further.
Thank you. Anyone else on this topic?
We all have some questions, but I want to see what happens. He says he's going to do some more
The
research.
public hearing is more of a place for that, because we'll be able to hear it and go back and forth with the dialogue, but we'll also have a little more factual information from the road department saying, okay, if we chose this, this is a dollar amount. If we do not choose this, this is the dollar amount it'll take to make a turnaround. A lot more fact would come to the table at that time, so we're not hypothetically guessing.
I feel like there needs to be more eyes on it, because the idea of a turnaround, where I know where the creek is, it's a single dirt road. You'd have to take property from two different individuals to do that, and I don't know. I feel like there'd be more dumping, more.
Which road is this, yours?
I live up
yeah.
further, but yeah, I'm down by the creek.
Langford Cary is it's a one-lane road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the whole thing. There's
Through the
some
whole
sections
place.
where it's wider, but the more it rains, it's kind of eroding a little bit more, and you kind of got more of a drop-off. But I don't see how you guys would be able to even do a turnaround down there to make it big enough for a fire truck or a bus.
It would definitely, and Young Harris is a prescriptive easement. Langford Cary, I don't think is. Yeah, that's gonna take a lot of fault. I think our board made a great decision.
Yeah, I think
On the public.
as Terry said, and I agree with this. That's the reason it's being postponed, so we can
Right.
research it more
And
and
we appreciate
get
that.
more
We want y'all
input.
to do
So
it.
definitely all that input will be done. And I think Derek's point here too is that we need to better define our process before we even get to the legal. We need to probably have some more discussions with our staff and stuff about some of these aspects before we proceed. So
Thank you.
we'll do that.
Well, thank you. Therefore, we do not need to table anything. We can,
If it becomes appropriate, I'll just ask you to be returned to the agenda.
all right. Mike, you comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's
All right, thank you. Thank y'all for coming. I'm sorry that this is a postponement. I think it's worth it. All right, new business. Consider 2022 budget amendments. Should we, 2022 budget amendments, I'm sorry.
These are from the finance director and the auditors to finish up 2022. This is moving funds from one department to another department.
This came out of the audit, right?
Yes, this is per the auditor.
Yeah. So we could just look at these all as
One.
One motion, sir. I don't think there was necessarily no shortfalls. This was just money that some departments had in reserve, where other departments, not necessarily departments, 180-something line, 189 line items. It's just to clean up the audit, is what this is.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the budget amendment.
Second motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Kurt, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen?
With this one, they think they'll have the audit finalized into it.
This is one of the last things that they're.
Yeah,
waiting
I think
on.
this is what they're waiting on.
It shouldn't be much longer until it's completed.
Just for the record, though, this auditing firm really has been on target, much more than I was. When you hire a brand new one, you never know what to get, but they've answered every phone call and every question we get. I gotta commend Rodney Chandler for giving me these guys' information. You know, we reached out to multiple ones, but so far they've been a blessing because they've helped us out in numerous other topics, not before us tonight, to give us some guidance. So I really appreciate that.
Do we need to vote?
Yes, sir.
Can we expect this to be closed out
I would think before the end of the year.
before the end of the year? Very good. Very good.
I can confirm that tomorrow with the auditor sending an email out to everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Any other discussions? Mr. Kurtz, on you, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Consider a budget amendment for 2024 Sheriff's Department, Jail Division, and E911 budgets. We have a superstar in the audience tonight, Sheriff Michael Moore.
Yeah. Bring the paperwork with you.
Yeah. Bring the finance guru with you.
That's all right. Jimmy? Yeah, Jimmy's pulling his hair out, 'cause.
No, that's Scott. He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already gone.
Yeah.
Literally.
All right, guys, let's hear it.
All right. Basically, we got some money left over in this budget we want to use for employee raises. And, that's what we're here for. Come to Todd and Christine, asked about it. Ain't gonna last long, but what, 300,000?
$300,000+. Basically, we're looking at returning over $440,000 roughly to the Board of Commissioners. A lot of that is unused salary money that is left over on all of our budgets, and that's because we have no money.
We're short-handed.
We have no. Today, I literally looked on shift this morning. I walked in the captain's office. I got 2 lieutenants and a sleek sleeve deputy working patrol division. So that's what I've got. I mean, this morning I had 3 deputies working Madison County. And they were working Durex, they were working everything, they were hustling, they were getting it done. But the downfall is we need help. And how are we going to attack it? Madison County is no longer competitive. We have fallen short. So just being honest.
So the ones we got leaving for more money. Some of them getting our law enforcement all together. That ain't working too, going to the private sector, making more money, but we can't compete with that. So we try to compete with where they go in different agencies.
2023, I lost 11 deputies. Out of 11 deputies, I lost about 70 years of experience in law enforcement. Nearly every one of them, excluding 5 deputies, left for secular positions because they're not meeting the needs. They're not surviving. They're not what it takes for their family anymore. Roughly $360,000+ is what I'm looking at as a request to move from this year's budget to next year's budget is going to give us a base rate. And with that base rate, I'm looking at about $22 an hour. So I scaled it. Basically, my lower tier guys will be looking at about a 9% COLA. My upper tier guys will be 3.5%, 4%. So we were already talking and approved 3% anyway. So I basically looked at that, scaled everything down, and basically with this amount of funding, I can put money in the pocket of every employee we've got under the sheriff. That's every one of them. So it's tough right now.
Yeah, I want to add to that just a little bit because when you heard 9%, it's actually 6% if we was already going to allocate 3 just for.
That's correct. That is correct.
That was assuming we were going to do 3%. Just so everybody knows. Well, first off, thank you for coming tonight, explaining this to us. Secondly, I commend you for having that money left over because as myself and Mike Pruitt knows very well, and the board may know, you do not have to do that each year. So it's a testament to the sheriff to be able to come back before the board and say, guys, I've got money and I want to redistribute it. That never happens ever. So,
But the bottom line is the money has already been appropriated, it just hasn't been used.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay. I certainly, and you guys know I've been a owner of y'all since I earned a seat up here. The only thing I'd ask is after you sort out, not by name, but simply by position, if you could just report back to us so that everybody knows how transparent it is.
Yep.
Who is getting what, so,
Yep.
you know, nobody can claim it down the road.
Anything the sheriff does goes straight through HR anyway. So, I mean, that's not an issue even to send you guys detail.
No, that's fine, thank you. Do we need to put this in form of a motion?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we gotta put them in the budget.
Make a motion that the budget be amended to reflect the use of these funds at the sheriff's discretion to supplement salary.
Yes, sir.
Does that sound right?
That is
That works. Yes, sir.
That's correct.
Second motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Adams, a second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, Joe?
Y'all answer my question, I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
With that
And
being said,
And having been on this board, not every sheriff will come back and do that. They'll spend the money and then ask for more of it. We appreciate it.
with that being said, Commissioner Dawson.
Yes.
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 We thank you, and all our staff thank you as well.
No, thank you.
Hopefully this is gonna help.
Appreciate what y'all do. It's a sad indictment that society has changed its attitude towards policing. I realize that y'all's job has always been difficult, but it's been made more difficult. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sheriff Moore, before you leave, I want to tell you, sir, that it is a pleasure working with you. Because, as I was told in Jekyll Island, when I was told I was the unicorn in the room, when I told them the relationship between the Board of Commissioners and the Sheriff's Department, that everybody in the room looked at me and says, how does that work? And I said, well, you just got to sit down and have a conversation. And they said, well, that don't work with my sheriff. Unfortunately, Madison County don't know how lucky they are. But look how lucky you are to have a Jeff Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
To have a Jamie Patton.
Yeah.
And that gentleman behind you, Scott Berry there.
I was gonna say, John Daniels in our county can look.
I love John Daniels too, so there you go.
But you know, that's what I always tell everybody, you know, these right here want to do it for me.
That's right.
I mean, they help me be the sheriff, ain't
That's right.
you know, good finance man here.
Financial responsibility is impeccable. Thank you.
We have to tell Jimmy not to spend money, but, you know.
I'm gonna throw you under the bus, right, Jim?
Jimmy, how many years you been with us now?
About 10 or 12 now, I think.
Oh, come on.
January will be 34.
34 years. That's amazing. I expect the sheriff to have an amendment in his budget for your retirement party at some point for 34 years.
That's, you're running out the door now.
We'd rather expect.
Yeah, we're working on another retirement for him, so we'll get all that straightened out.
You're one of those rare breeds that's irreplaceable, those.
Yeah, we're all replaceable,
Yeah.
but I enjoy what I do.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it for everything. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Dang, see if I can hit
You're gonna ask a tough question later. Oh, okay.
I want to hear the rest of these.
Oh, all right. You want to join the volunteer fire department? I see what it is.
No. I respect those guys, but it's not for me.
All right, moving on, gentlemen, thank you. Consider awarding company for request for proposal for the fire and emergency service training facility. Bush, are you doing the presentation or Mark?
All right.
I know everybody's well prepared, so it don't matter who has it.
Good evening, gentlemen, everyone in the audience. We appreciate y'all's support as always. As y'all know, we actually we put a bid out, worked through the commission and staff to put a bid out on the streets to construct a fire training center. That went out on the streets, the proposals, RFP, request for proposals went out. It was advertised as supposed to be legally. We had contact with 7 different companies. We received proposals from 3. Those 3 evaluations, three proposals were evaluated by 5 members of the fire service. And tonight we have our recommendation to you to, after evaluating all of them, to forward to Fire Training Structures, Inc., or LLC. And we hope you guys will support that proposal if you haven't answered any questions.
All right, so, and I do know, based off the scale that you brought me, that one of these proposals was not fully.
We scored all three of them anyway.
That's right, you scored them all individually just because.
Right.
And currently, today, you're asking the Board of Commissioners to approve Fire Training Structures LLC at $662,971, as they were the only ones that met the full requirement of the RFP.
They met all the specs and all the requirements and everything. The other two, weren't as, well prepared, lacked some information, but, we should score all of them anyway instead of disqualifying anybody.
Again, I want to say thank you to the chiefs that did score that, because there was multiple guys there doing this. And I think all chiefs have been made aware that this is the facility that y'all are presenting tonight, for the Board of Commissioners to vote on. With that said, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to approve the request for Fire Training Structure LLC, $662,971. Gentlemen, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, can I just clarify, so for the RFP process, what you're doing is selecting the finalists tonight.
Okay.
Then we'll get the contract
Okay.
documents together and come back to you.
I'm sorry.
For approval.
So how do you make the motion?
Actually, you don't.
Motion,
Yeah, you make a motion to award until we'll go through the.
a motion to, approve, Fire Training Structures LLC as the finalist.
All right, I'll make that a motion.
Yeah. I have a motion by Commissioner Kirk. Second by Commissioner May. Gentlemen, any discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
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 And Butch, I'm guessing they have their own contract documents they'd like us to use, so.
Sure.
Okay.
Christine and I spoke earlier this afternoon right before the meeting, so we'll talk next few days.
So we won't need to come back for a vote now that that price was stated, that as long as they meet the contract requirement, we can.
No, the board still has to approve the contract, the actual written contract.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I won't celebrate yet, I'll wait till the contract's done.
Well, it sounds like their proposal was pretty complete.
It was pretty good.
Don't expect any hitches.
It was real good.
This is just a structure, right? That's
This is
story.
This is the multi-story fire training structure. This one, you actually build fires in and train inside of the building that's, so you build fires in and stuff like that. It's just the training structure itself.
So this the one that burns wood or the gas?
This is wood. Yeah.
I will note that this facility, or this particular company, you have laid eyes on their structure, so you know that's a quality structure.
Oh, yeah, we went all over the state. We went to lots of different locations. I think we went to 6 different locations around the state, looked at different manufacturers, lots of research. This is what we felt. Well, the proposals just spoke for itself, but I felt like these guys have the best quality building that we saw out of all the ones we saw.
That's great. That's even more support. All right.
No, it was one y'all presented us.
Yes, sir.
Moving on, consider a camper permit extension for Melinda Baker, located in District 5. Melinda Baker.
Well, I'm here.
And this will be.
It's back. I need an extension for extenuating circumstances as stated in the letter from USDA.
All right, in this, I don't see any kind of time frame. Have they give you a time frame?
Not a solid time frame. This certificate has to be, the plan certification has to be completed. apparently, they have changed their rules and nobody is comfortable with signing off on this. And I had asked Eddie to sign off on it, and he came back with, after reviewing your request for the county to certify your house plans for your loan, you'll have to have an architect or engineer to approve your plans. The county has no responsibility to approve or disapprove plans for a loan. Because I asked him to look at it and certify it, September 11th.
So USDA is asking the county to certify them, but the county does not certify them.
Right.
That's correct.
And so that was back in September 11th, and now we're still waiting. They went to the engineering company and everything that did it, but with the plans, I guess it's their rules or whatever for USDA having just recently changed. Nobody's up on it, and they don't want to sign off.
All right. Mr. Rhodes, can you, come up and, or I'm sorry, Mr. Pritchett, I'm sorry, I didn't see you sitting behind me. So come on, look down. No, come on, either one. I just wanted to try to get.
Come on, boys.
I'm just trying to get a little bit more information here.
Yes, she had requested that was one of that we look at the plans, and I did tell her that was out of the norm for us to review plans for the approval of her loan. I've never had to do that before, so I'm not comfortable with that. And then I believe she has also had an architect that would not agree to do it as well.
They're saying that they're reviewing the new USDA, regulations or whatever. And they haven't gotten through all of them, so they're waiting.
Who generated the plan?
Pardon?
Who drew the plan?
Help me with this. It was.
Oh, I can't say anything this one.
Neither can I.
New rules, while they're looking at it.
Stephen J. Slatter Jr. certificates on here. These are the house plans. And Tommy Paul did the plat.
The new USDA rules allow for either a county surveyor or building inspector, the architect of the plans, or an engineer to certify that except all three versions of that. Our county does not certify, and we're not covered or comfortable certifying another person's drawing, even if the map shows up. We just don't have the personality to do for one if we do for all.
Especially tied to a loan.
Stephen Slaughter is a design professional, stamped and signed these plans.
Right, but this is the,
So they.
this is the form
Go ahead and give it, Mr. Adams.
that USDA requires, and it came out as 2 pages, but Tommy Paul did the plot plan. He resurveyed the land. That's what I'm saying. I have done everything everybody's asked me to do.
I gather from what this letter says from the USDA official is they want somebody to certify that the plans conform to USDA's building requirements.
Correct.
So obviously the county wouldn't be familiar with those.
So we're now to the point of the directors of the state trying to find a federal engineer or architect that'll sign off on it.
Well, this document says that it can be a licensed architect, engineer, or a building official. So the person who generated the plans, Derek, you're probably more familiar with this than I am.
What somebody's probably taking
Here's
the reservation to is,
this is the kicker right up in here.
yeah, what somebody's, I can design something, based on what my knowledge and my experience and whatnot is. But if somebody put this in front of me, and let's just say USDA has just issued a new set, or even a set I'm not familiar with, that says, this is what you're certifying, then I may actually take reservation until I review those and make sure that my plan.
Which is exactly where we're sitting right now.
So you want to extend your permit for your camp?
I need to extend my RV permit until this gets settled.
I can tell you my feeling on this. Again, I don't get a vote, but I'm gonna have to lay my comfort zone, I guess, within your department on this particular one, due to it looks like the hangup is outside the county. And I don't know enforcing or advocating for or against this extension. I don't really know how to.
There are several, engineers, architects out there that handle it. Us as a county, we are straight ICC, International Construction Code. Now, I have no idea when it comes to building how much the USDA leans upon what we use as our standard, or if it's the exact same. But as far as the extension goes, if you needed an engineer, there's several available around here, especially using the Hartwell-based office, the Commerce or the Athens-based office for the USDA.
My conversations with the builder he had indicated that the architect they had approached.
But at the end of the day, right now, that's peripheral to what our conversation is.
Correct.
How long do you need the extension for? That's all we need to know.
Because it will need to go through construction until
Yeah, and
CO.
it's gonna be a slab, so you know when that's gonna start.
Have you selected a builder?
Yes, I have a builder, he's in Noonan. I couldn't get anybody local who could meet the USDA payment schedule.
Yes.
And I went through Clark. I talked to builders in Clark, Oglethorpe, Madison, and none of them would be willing to do it. The two who could have done it, who had the financing, it was too small a project.
All right. Let me ask this question. Do we have, besides the time or besides the permit expiration date,
Yes, sir.
as far as a camp permit and everything like that, or do we feel, is everything up good, code, plumb? I mean, is there anything that can be fixed or is anything out of whack?
Have you tied to the septic?
It's pumped out every month, the same as it's always been. ASPA Glenn comes over and pumps it out.
We've approved temporary power on the pole over there if it meets code. Of course, the concern with any.
I can't run the septic uphill.
You can't go with it.
Have we had any reports, any concerns, I guess?
No, sir.
With that said, with the letter dated 11/21/23, I'm entitled to give Ms. Baker benefit of the doubt, and I recommend that we would extend the camper permit. We're going into the holidays. I would say 6 months.
Yes,
If
sir.
that's a motion, that'll be carried by the board. That's my recommendation.
I have a motion by Commissioner Doster.
Second motion.
I have a second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen?
Don't dawdle. Try your best. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying don't dawdle.
You have no idea.
I'm not saying I do. I'm just putting that on the record. Don't dawdle.
Yeah, we're from the government. We're here to help you.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, it's an awful lot like the service. Hurry up and wait.
So Commissioner Chandler?
Yes.
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 I think that was a good motion, Commissioner Doster. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Keep plugging, young lady. It is USDA.
It is USDA. I used to work for a bank. I know how it is.
And hopefully the engineer will be able to review those regulations and get you signed off in short order.
Christopher, is there any way possible, please, get that contact information from USDA? Let's see if we can't reach out and try to get a little better guidance.
Yes, sir. No issue, sir.
Just to help speed the process along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this does, I guess this would be a good time to bring this up, as good a time as any. There was a comment made regarding plans review here. This is, a home is nothing to review in regards to plans review. Who looks at major commercial projects in the county?
Mr. Pritchett.
And signs off on those. And signs off on those. Is that?
And in regards to this particular situation, the state doesn't require residential plans to review.
No, I'm not talking about residential plans, I'm talking about.
But commercial plans, yes, I'm certified to do that, and I usually handle that for the county. The reservations with this particular incident are that it is tied with this loan. County doesn't want any liability with this.
But when you say certify, you make sure.
I'm ICC certified.
Yeah, but you're certifying it for the county.
Correct.
To issue
For
a
code
building
compliance.
permit.
For code compliance,
Yes.
not for whatever her loan would require.
Exactly.
I don't think this question was tied to her
No.
item.
No,
He was just
this
asking
goes
about commercial in general.
way beyond that. I mean, and I'm gonna throw a name out there.
Yes, sir.
And no reflection on Eddie, on you or the company. It's a name to utilize here. When GRP approached Madison County about their building.
Yes, sir.
And what they did down there, did we sign off on that in-house, or did we send it out to have those plans reviewed?
That was right after I came back, and I'll be honest with you, I don't remember if we looked at those plans or not.
Be more than happy to research and get you.
I believe it would be very prudent on our part in regards to the implication of liabilities that may be associated with signing off on plans that it may look at, you guys, y'all are the ones that are handling this, but it may be prudent to look for an outside source to do plans review on projects, and we can decide, is it $100,000 project, is it a $500,000 project, is it $1 million project?
Yes, sir.
But I believe it would be very prudent on the part of the county to at least look at options regarding that. I think it's safe to say a lot of municipalities and authorities having jurisdiction, that seems to be the trend that I'm seeing at this time.
To take the workload off of you.
Look, if you get to a certain level, there's an expertise that's needed, and I'm not just, in experience goes a long way, not just check the box. Sometimes there's just experience of somebody's done it.
Well, an example, and I'll throw this out there, engineer that I've worked with on projects for 30 plus years now.
Yes.
We're bidding an addition to a high school that I did 20 years ago, and we're on the 11th addendum to a set of plans that he generated to start off with. So if the design professionals can have that magnitude of error in their drawings, I think it would be prudent for us to seek some additional help on large projects.
And larger projects, the state only requires plans for anything 5,000 square feet or larger, excluding residential, institutional, educational, or assemblies. Everything we receive is already stamped. It is just a review. So we do go through and review what is sent to us.
Yeah, but it's stamped by the person that sends it to you.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It would be very prudent to look beyond our walls here.
Yes, sir.
For plans review on larger projects. I would.
So you're referencing it, like just because their attorney prepared it, we want a different attorney to look over it.
Absolutely.
All right, I see what you're saying. No problem. Thank you, buddy. And I will say, for the record, over the past 3 years, I've seen what y'all have been approving. I don't think you were part of the GRP thing, because I don't think there's any kind of erosion control to go with that you would have ever signed your name to. Only because I know how.
And just for clarity, so the board knows,
I work with the stormwater and all ag plants, and then I have Eddie second eyes on them, and then Eddie with anything commercial, he goes over them, make sure. So I agree, we need another set of eyes, but we do what we can with the.
Yeah.
Checks and balance.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen.
As long as you're doing attaboys, I worked with a lot of governments for a long time. Really appreciate people like Eddie who know what they should sign and what they shouldn't sign.
Absolutely. Man, he won't even sign his time card. What do you mean? No, I'm just kidding. All right, consider a camper permit extension for Wayne Crow located in District 4. What you got going on, Mr. Crow?
Good evening. I recently bought a property with two barns and a camper on it. So I've been doing the work myself, and I recently got an extension of my building permit, 90 days, and I'd like to get an extension of my camper permit.
And will 90 days suffice?
Yes, sir, he's already had power issued, so he's just doing finishing touches at this point.
Oh, okay.
So,
We believe within 90 days, he'll cross that threshold. Given the really don't prize and.
Have been no issues or citations?
No, none at all.
All right, gentlemen, I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 90-day extensions.
Second motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Kirk, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for your due diligence and staying on top of it.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, discuss the submittal received for request for qualification for the historic courthouse preservation plan.
This is just for the board's information. We had 6 packets turned in. They're all pretty similar in pricing. They're not too far off. I reached out to Commissioner Foster to also review these. This is beyond my realm of vocabulary reading these. So if anybody has any recommendations on who you would like to put together to review these packets and make an award to, what any of you would like to be part of that.
I'll go ahead and Commissioner Foster, I do have a citizen in my district has a bit of experience with old building restoration. I'd like to, if he would be willing to do that, for him to look on this.
And I was also going to ask if it would be okay if I reached out to John Barton with Historical Society and to kind of see his input. He wants to review any of these as well. I know that when you get into, I've only made it through 3, and there's 6. And there's a lot of architectural and engineering vocabulary, verbiage, and projects, and so like I said, that is just really outside of my realm.
Well, what has been determined so far is 3 of the 6.
We're very impressive.
Yes, they're very good, so.
We also need to be really clear if we're talking about restoration or preservation and what degree of which.
I think that's the deciding point. That needs to be highlighted, preservation or restoration. Because I think that's 2 different quotes. Well, I know it's 2 different quotes.
I'm happy to look at these. I talked to Christine earlier. I've got no reservations with some caveats of, if there's an additional, citizen member, somebody that would like to participate, I guess, my caveats, and I'll the council to add to if needed, but, it's going to be outside this board that all of us sign some sort of non-disclosure agreement. And then if you've got a template of something that we are scoring, all of us to score it.
Yes, I did.
The equitable part of reviewing these and putting our comments down.
Yeah, and on that score sheet, it talks about like National Registry, projects and using CDBG grants and government funding projects. That's part of the score sheet to be sure that they understand that process and how that document works. This project
Make sure
is.
a copy of the RFQ is submitted so they understand what was asked.
Yeah.
That's
And,
critical.
Also Northeast Georgia Regional Commission, they're helping facilitate this project. So once we decide which firm to go with, I was talking to Commissioner Doster, we plan to submit that as a grant. So one of the first projects we'll do, we'll submit through a grant process to be reimbursed roughly these dollar figures.
To ask the question, has the regional commission been affiliated with any of these firms in a project?
I haven't asked them that question yet, no.
It might be something.
So we received these Friday, before Thanksgiving break, and I did not look at them last week before Thanksgiving.
So question, make sure we're on top of, since we're using ARPA funds for this, these will require people to meet some sort of federal requirement. We need to make sure those.
Yeah, we can make that note. As of right now, ARPA funds has been transferred, so we're out from under the ARPA requirements, but we can set our requirements, which would still probably be along the lines of the federal requirement.
There'll be a lot of federal regulations with this money, because it'll all be processed through Northeast Georgia, all this whole project is, and with it being the historic courthouse is on the National Registry, there's a whole nother list of regulations, so that's one thing I put in that grading sheet that I felt was extremely important for those people to be familiarized with those requirements, because we are
And a
not.
lot of that stuff goes back to the Department of the Interior.
Correct.
For historic preservation sale.
I just want to ask a couple questions just to clarify. I agree, and talking with what Derek was saying, about working with some folks, Mr. Barton or who it is, if we got 2 or 3 members. But I'd like to ask Derek here that, or should we sort of have the team leader of this thing and have you meet with these others and maybe discuss the whole review process before they enter in, who else is going to be on this group with you?
I mean, I'm happy to talk to them. I mean,
I think I'd feel better if we discuss them, that you, just like an argument, what was asked, what did we ask for, and this is what we got, so that, to make sure that everybody's on the same sheet of music before they start reviewing,
If anybody, like I said, if they're willing to serve, and then we can have a little kickoff meeting, before we hand out any packages and, get an NDA signed. I just think it's critical that way.
Yeah, and that's why I really wanted to bring this before the board and more specifically, Derek. I can read some of it and I can call references and I can look at experience and projects that they've done. I can do all that, but when you get into the details of your field, I'm not trying to play that.
I just want to make sure who's reviewing it, and I know there's other people do it, that they're all on the same sheet of music.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. All right. Yeah, sounds great. All right, so we have enough information to move forward with. Gentlemen, thank you for that discussion. Moving on, road updates. All the 2023 T-Splosh road projects have been completed. APS does have road striping to complete on the resurfaced roads. Roadside mowing crew has completed completed their yearly cutbacks on the county right-of-ways. The county road department has begun crack sealing in preparation for 2024 T-Splosh road projects. This is just part of our prep for next year's project, and that will continue all through the winter. So from a public standpoint, please be aware that we will have guys working in the road. Pay attention to working ahead signs, minute work signs, any blinking lights, because these guys will be in the lane. Please be aware. I want to send them all home safe. The county road department is in the process of clearing land. I've already said this a minute ago. At the Madison County Animal Shelter for the new training facility, clearing should be completed by the first week in December. The county sidearm crew has begun trimming privet and limbs in the Moons Grove area. This will be an ongoing project for the road department. The county also has canopy clearing, raising the road canopies throughout the county. They are currently in the Sanford community. This will continue all winter also. So again, not only will we have people in the middle of the roads, we will have trucks stopped in the middle of the roads. We will have signage out, please be aware. As many of you know, our canopies, we were able to make notes, because the only way you can really do this trimming in the wintertime is to make notes during the summer when all the trees have full bloom and the weight is on them, so we know where to go back and cut during the winter months. That's all I have for road updates, as our guys are steadily busy. Now, yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, come around the table. Mr. Adams on road updates. Anything?
We had a situation at the intersection of the Nowhere Road and the Nice Commerce Road, Sunday afternoon. Motorcyclist, and I don't know the particulars as to whether he was speeding or not. If I had to make a guess, he probably was, but he got into some of the loose gravel from our paving process that was on the pavement.
Okay.
We may ask the contractor to come back and at the paved road intersections, just kind of.
As a matter of fact,
sweep that up.
Yes, sir. We do have a crew that is currently on all the roads that we've done that treatment on, is to go to those intersections. When people pull out, they spin gravel onto the other surface.
Yes.
And therefore, we'll make sure all those are clear from any debris.
Thank
you.
Had a conversation this morning with Derek on pine trees and mowing. The second mowing apparently got omitted. He's on top of that, and crew will be taking care of it.
We are going to run the site on some more. We recently purchased a mulching head to go to reach some of the higher stuff that we wasn't prior able to do. So I look for a lot more to happen this winter. Sir? All's good. All right, what you got, sir? All right, love it. Mr. Doster?
Nothing much.
All right, you've already contacted Derek, and I'll take care of yours, Commissioner Adams. First thing in the morning, statements, remarks from citizens on any topic. Yes.
On a gift and a budget amendment for the fire department.
Mike, I don't know where we stand with that. As of right before Thanksgiving, there was some talk about.
Yep, I'm missing, one more fire department for their current roster. And then I will turn that over to the citizen, I don't know his name. That'll be turned over to him for him to do at his discretion to contact those fire departments, but the county is not able to participate in that.
Yeah, so Mike, would you like to give us the legal description of, we had spoke about, matching a donation from a citizen to give to the firemen. And we recently found, or I think last week you found something that says that we were unable to go that route.
Right.
I'm not sure what route to go, if any.
Yeah, I mean, typically, so if it were a matter of providing, being a conduit for citizen funds, adding county funds to provide fire departments with additional support for equipment, that sort of thing, that's fine. We would just amend our contract with the fire departments. But what I think I understand is somebody wants to actually give money to individuals.
To individual fire departments. And then for the fire departments to disperse that to their certified active firemen.
Yeah.
So what he's requested is if he makes this donation, would the county match the donation?
No, the county cannot make donations, period. We can contract for services, and that's why I say if there were additional money out there available to enhance the services being provided, we would just do it through an amendment to the service agreement. But we can't donate to people. So, and I would just warn, volunteers have some protection in the law because of their volunteer status that taking money could compromise.
So I would ask, as a chief, I would probably converse with council afterwards, and maybe he can give you a better clarity as to what we can and can't do, if there's an option, without having to disclose it here other than what you've already disclosed.
I've candidly never heard of volunteers being given money, so, for that very reason. So I don't know if that can work. If it can, I don't know how.
So from my standpoint, I need to contact the donee and let him know that he's welcome to do whatever he chooses with the volunteer fire department, but we cannot have any part of it.
No, that's correct. We cannot donate to people.
All right.
The gratuity fund, that is the gratuity fund.
That's right. Any other questions, sir?
We appreciate you do it.
Which department?
What's on, oh,
Which department didn't submit?
I'll make sure we get that list. I can make that phone call tomorrow. Ask them where it's at.
But I'm pretty sure it's coming. I know it's one.
Unfortunately, we have worked on this for about 3 or 4 weeks now, back and forth. And just to be honest, we searched every avenue that we thought could work as a scenario. And I was made aware, I think Wednesday, by Christina, that we've exhausted all efforts. There's not a legal avenue that the county can follow through with. But I didn't contact anybody on Thursday just because it was Thanksgiving. And I apologize for that. But I'll make that phone call if you would like, to a donee.
I'll talk to you too.
All right. Statements or remarks from commissioners on any item, any topic.
Do we have an update? We talked at one time getting the road department to clear some of that land that we talked about relocating the road department to.
Yes.
And I mean, it's not road building and.
Yes, sir. So what we have done is, honestly, we're waiting on a survey. The surveyor did not want them to go in and clear the property prior to the survey being done, simply because it makes it rough for the survey crew. I would think it'd make it easier with everything graded, but he said, no, it actually makes a mess. It's easier to walk through the woods and survey the property prior to. We have contacted Mike Crest. Yeah, and they are interested in taking the hardwood off of it for us, it's clear cut. But right now the surveyor is just swamped. County surveyor is swamped right now. But he is currently doing the 2.5 acres. He met with us on site the other day with that one, and that's where we stand. I'm sorry. That's just where we're at. Any other questions, gentlemen? Any urgent matters? Executive session discuss real estate acquisitions, personal matters, or potential litigations.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Dawson.
Move adjourned.
Thank you, sir. Great meeting, guys. Thank you all very much. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. I'll call over. I figured everything. Yeah, I didn't even look at it. I bet. Yeah. Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah.
Seriously. Proud of you. You've done a trouble.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. All right. That's my wife.
Thank you again, sir.
Yeah, in fact, if it works out, we'd all get together one night.
Telling her.
Yes, sir.
Like, the county